come back down to Shulman's or whatever? Or?
Oh yeah, sure.
Okay, great.
Yep.
Hey guys.
Hi. How are you?
Good.
All right. State your name and your grade.
Okay. I'm Adrian Fry, and I am a senior.
All right. Proceed.
Responsibility. It's something we all too often find lacking in our society. People seem to think that they can avoid the consequences of their actions. Even the best of us can fall prey to this temptation, as this case sadly demonstrates. Your Honor, it is our responsibility as citizens to ensure that those responsible for wrongdoing, for hurting other people, for blatant negligence, and for lying be forced to take responsibility for those mistakes and suffer the consequences. Your Honor, Adrian Vega should and must be found guilty of felony hit and run. On the night of Thursday, April 19, 2012, Adrian was a girl who had just about anything she could want. She was the daughter of the mayor, star of the swim team, had just helped her team win state qualifying championship meet, and managed to get the attention of a scout from her dream school. And yet, on that very night, when everything seemed to be going perfectly for Adrian, something terrible happened. You see, Adrian was just so excited about her success that she couldn't bear to not text everyone about it, even as she drove her dad's vintage Bueller home. Well, this time, Adrian's negligence had a terrible consequence. This time, Adrian actually hit something, or rather, someone, the cyclist, Mr. Douglas. According to Mr. Douglas, this sort of negligence should have been expected from Adrian. But sadly, this time, someone was hurt. Adrian said that at the very least, she felt a significant bump. Tony DeLuca, who had his eyes closed and headphones in, said that he felt a significant bump. Mr. Liu shouted, "Look out!" in the moments before the accident, and Mr. Douglas had a headlamp on. So what did Adrian do when she felt this bump? The bump significant enough to make both her and Tony worry? Well, according to the witness testimonies of both Quinn Liu and Dallas DeCamp, the car appeared to slow down for a minute, but in the end, drove off down the road. Yes, Adrian drove back to her home, where in her panic she parked her car haphazardly. She saw the paint scratches from Mr. Douglas's bicycle, but even then, she didn't go back. Instead, she panicked and went off for a walk. When she got back, she found Officers Wright and Jackson waiting for her. Officer Wright told Adrian up front that they were investigating an accident, but even then, Adrian decided not to fess up. It was only after an interrogation that Adrian finally made the statement that got her arrested. "It was a bicyclist. I'm so sorry. I could never forgive myself." Of course, we have to address the argument of the defense that Tony DeLuca, not Adrian Vega, was driving the night of the car accident. But their argument is compelling, but ultimately flawed. First off, why would Adrian let Tony DeLuca drive her dad's vintage Bueller, his prized possession, home? Especially if Tony is as bad of a driver as Aubrey Fox says he is. Adrian's father told her that no one, other than Adrian, was allowed to drive that car. Tony doesn't even have an American driver's license. Furthermore, according to Mr. Liu's testimony, the driver of the car had on a white t-shirt, a cardinal and gold baseball hat, and was surrounded by the glow of a cell phone screen. Adrian Vega had on a white t-shirt, had just gotten a cardinal and gold baseball cap from the ULA Scout, and was texting on her phone. Now, Adrian says that Tony grabbed away her hat and phone out of jealousy while they were driving home, but honestly, if Tony was being that negligent and bad of a driver in her father's prized car, why would she continue to let him drive? Adrian says that she tried to get Tony to stop when he felt the bump, but that he wouldn't until they were further along down the road. Why would Tony suddenly decide to listen to her after he had ignored her earlier pleas, especially long after the accident had occurred? Lastly, Cameron Douglas himself, the man hit by the car, says that he thought he saw Adrian, not Tony, in the driver's seat of the car. And when the police investigated the Bueller, they found the business card from the ULA Scout, which had only been given to Adrian under the driver's seat. Your Honor, no matter which way Adrian and her attorneys try to twist it, Adrian is guilty of a crime. By finding her guilty, we will not only do justice, but teach her a valuable lesson. Adrian is not a bad girl, but she made a foolish mistake and now she has to pay for it. She was all too happy to take responsibility for her positive actions and accomplishments. Now she needs to learn that she must also take credit for her negligence.
All right, thank you.
That was
Excellent. That was 4 minutes, 23 seconds.
Okay.
All right. Let's stop this.